Let's get back to the most important. And now let's get back to the most important and most overlooked target audience during a crisis: employees. You need to make sure you communicate with these folks. You want them to understand the key messages you're delivering to the outside world, ensuring consistency with what you're saying. You want to maintain their trust in the company and support the commitment they make every single day by coming to work. The bottom line is this: counting your employees as one of your most important target audiences during and after a crisis is critical. You are the head of PR for a chemical company that manufactures benzene, a chemical widely used in the production of plastics, synthetic fibers, and rubber. A faulty valve has caused the release of toxic air, and you have activated your company's emergency procedures. Your internal response team has successfully closed the valve, stopping further leakage. You have sounded the alarm to alert workers and neighbors, evacuated the building where the accident occurred, blocked off the area around it, notified emergency teams and authorities, and sent in first aid and medical attention to those who were working in the building. There appears to be no serious injuries. Within the next 48 hours, you'll begin your incident assessment and start documenting what went wrong and what needs to change. From an operational perspective, the worst appears to be over. But for a PR point of view, you have just begun. In our past podcasts, we've discussed the importance of taking immediate control of the message during and after a crisis to position your company as the primary source of information. And we've discussed the importance of identifying and understanding your target audiences. In this episode, I want to discuss the one audience that's often overlooked in a crisis: your employees. Stay with us after the break, when we'll discuss the perils of overlooking your most important audience. This episode is brought to you by Carlos Salmon, financial planner. I have a confession to make. I am well into adulthood, and I have never worked with a financial advisor who could bring all my assets into a cohesive plan. I knew that's what smart people did, but I didn't do it. Lucky for me, I found Carlos Salmon. Carlos is a certified financial planner. He works with clients like me to navigate complex money matters. He helps them reduce taxes, invest smarter, and optimize income. As a business owner, wife, and mother, I had a raft of investments, insurance products, and the like I'd acquired over the year, but no plan to make them work together to take care of my business and my family. Without judgment, Carlos worked with me to create a plan that maximized what I had, added what I needed, and gave me the peace of mind to face the future. If you've been putting off a financial plan into someday, I want to tell you that someday is today. Reach out to Carlos at Worcester Square Advisors or find him on the web at carlossalmon.com. Welcome back. I'm Andrea Obston. I've been a crisis communications consultant and reputation manager for over 4 decades. I also teach crisis communication, among other subjects, at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut. And now let's get back to the most important and most overlooked target audience during a crisis: employees. When it comes to dealing with the public face of any crisis, many communications focus on the outside world: the media, your stockholders, the regulators, local officials, as well they should. They issue press releases and statements, respond to reporters' questions, post updates on their websites and social media, and reach out with calls to local officials and regulators, all in an effort to get these crucial audiences involved and let them know that they are on it and that they have the confidence in their ability to handle a crisis. That's all good. When crisis strikes, everything happens at once. Reporters demand answers. Social media catches fire. The phones ring and ring. And then you look out your window to see reporters in front of the building doing live feeds and people with cell phones streaming to their followers. It's no wonder you can't find the time to communicate with those inside your own building about what's going on. But that is a grave mistake. Your employees are the lifeblood of your organization. They are the foundation of your company's credibility, morale, and operational continuity, especially during tough times. They are, by many measures, your most significant stakeholders and can be your greatest cheerleaders. They are your ambassadors to the world. They shape local opinions through their words and behavior. Remember, while you're fighting the fires of outside communications, these folks have to keep doing their jobs. Customers reach out to them for their take on the situation, and anyone they know turns to them to get the inside story about the crisis. The worst thing you can do is keep these people in the dark. If you make that mistake, you can expect rumors, conjecture, and misinformation to proliferate. That will inevitably undermine employee morale and trust in management. Not good for the long-term productivity of your company. You need to make sure you communicate with these folks. You want them to understand the key messages you're delivering to the outside world, ensuring consistency with what you're saying. You want to maintain their trust in the company and support the commitment they make every single day by coming to work. In keeping them informed as much as possible, you reduce uncertainty and ensure that everybody works together to protect your company's reputation and future, and to short-circuit the rumor mill, inside and outside the company. Every one of your employees goes home each night. They go into the community. They shop at the local supermarket. Someone they know will inevitably stop them in front of the cantaloupes at Stop and Shop with the question, "What the heck is going on with your company?" And the last thing you want them to say is, "I don't know, they don't tell me anything." You can also expect them to receive calls and emails from members of the media or individuals who write for local online news outlets like The Patch or Nextdoor. Your employees need to know how to handle these calls. Give them specific instructions. You want them to send these requests to the person who's handling crisis communications. They can say something like, "We have someone who's handling this. Here's her cell and her email. She'll get right back to you." That beats, "They told me not to talk to you," by a mile. You should also arm them with simplified talking points to respond to friends and neighbors. This fosters transparency with the local community. As an aside, when you do this, make it clear that these are only for use with friends and family, not the members of the media. Employees are the stakeholders with the most significant stake in your company. A crisis will make them worry about the company's future and their own. Employees also want to feel pride in the place that they work. That was brought home to me in a big way when we handled a crisis for a local health clinic. One of their doctors had been charged with being inappropriate with their female patients. When the news hit, we had TV reporters doing live feeds from the parking lot, grabbing patients on their way into the facility. The morning was a nightmare for those handling phones and trying to get patients in to see their doctors. At lunchtime, the employees were so shaken by the accusations that they removed their ID badges and left them on their desks before going out to lunch. They didn't want anyone to know they worked for the clinic. It was a dramatic illustration of just how personal the crisis was for each and every one of them. I know I'll never forget it. Employees are viewed as authentic and credible sources by the outside world. You want them to be your advocates of the community. You want to empower them to amplify the messages you're delivering about the crisis. They can put a human face on your response. Genuine involvement and transparent updates help employees become influential brand managers within their local communities, among your customers, and with your vendors. They have the power to begin rebuilding trust with these influential audiences during and after a crisis. And if they're included in your crisis response, that will make a big difference. The bottom line is this: counting your employees as one of your most important target audiences during and after a crisis is critical. Keeping them informed of what you know and how you're handling the crisis is crucial. By providing them with timely updates, you support their welfare, boost their morale, and maintain productivity. You mobilize them as your most valuable community ambassadors. By keeping them informed, you demonstrate respect, showing them you care about them. You foster resilience and minimize turnover or disengagement at a time when you need the most, after the crisis. Thank you for joining us for the 5th episode of And Now It's a Crisis. Connect with us next time as we discuss the power of genuine apology, how to construct and deliver an authentic mea culpa that begins the process of healing after a crisis. Please subscribe and follow And Now It's a Crisis on YouTube, Spotify, and other major podcast platforms. See you next time.